Hello, it's Ruby, and today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video. I'm actually so excited for this one. If you've been watching my videos for a while, if you've been here before, you will probably know that I do like scheduling and I like timetables and I like planning. The other day when I was going through paperwork, I came across this schedule, not schedule, properly spelled schedule, and it's basically a timetable of exactly how I followed my day this day. And I thought that I would bring you along on this day. I'm going to try following the schedule today, but I'm going to slightly adapt it because some of the stuff is tailored to school. I'm going to incorporate some things I also did when I was 14. Okay, so I've written up some substitutions for certain things. Now I'm actually going to look through my old Instagram to see if it will give me any ideas of things I used to do when I was in the year between year 9 and year 10. Okay, so here is my schedule for today. So since I've already gone to the bathroom, the first thing I need to do is choose something to wear, and I just looked through my old Instagram photos and there is a trend. The thing that I'm going to go for is I actually wore lots of t-shirts. So in this one I'm wearing a Shakespeare t-shirt. Here I think I'm wearing a Ravenclaw t-shirt. I know that I enjoyed wearing the kind of like academic t-shirts with long shorts, so I am gonna wear that. If I can find it, I'm gonna wear my favourite t-shirt, which was my Edgar Allan Poe one. I'm just going to read the book that I'm reading at the moment. I can't really remember what I would eat when I was 14 for breakfast, but I'm going to go for some shreddies because I know I didn't like porridge. Okay, so next I'm going to do some research into environmental movements, which is, it was literally something that was always on my to-do list when I was 14. I didn't actually read the news when I was younger. I didn't find it as interesting, so I'd read like the National Geographic and things, but I wouldn't keep up to date with standard politics. But I'd always like to keep up to date with environmental movements, and that's all I would look at on the BBC. So for the next thing, I actually need to download an app. This is an app I used to use quite a bit when I was like 12, 13, 14, and it's called Middle School Vocabulary Prep. I'm not sure if they even still have it on the App Store. This is the app I used to use, but it's no longer available to download. I'm going to go on to the next thing, which is practicing capitals. And again, this is something I really enjoyed. I loved learning my capitals and flags, and this is what I would use to practice them. Gotta love The Simpsons. I watched so much Simpsons up until the age of like 15 up until I started my GCSEs. So the next thing on my list of things to do, basically when I was 14 I loved playing Hunger Games. I loved to play with friends obviously. So I'm here with Lola because we're in this like area of woodland. I'm going to pretend there's someone chasing us and we're going to run through the woods. And Lola's never played this before, so she is in for a treat. Okay, I've got half an hour left of my book, so I'm going to sit down and finish it now. So another thing I would do when I was 14, and this is definitely one of the strangest things I did, I wanted to make sure I did it in today's video, is I used to play board games by myself. This was my favourite one, a Sudoku game, and basically you have a board. It's a really cool game. I got this at a charity shop when I was 13, and look at that, I never rubbed that off. Then you have all of these little cards and you just write in purple the numbers and then you can fill it out, and it is for 2 to 4 players, but you can basically play it by yourself. And the other game I liked to play was Dingbats, so I'm going to grab that. You might be wondering why I actually played board games by myself, especially since obviously I do live with my family. I could play with them. Number one, they don't really like board games. Number two, I was extremely introverted when I was 14, at the end of year 9 and then in year 10. Obviously there are some games you can't play, but I tried playing Scrabble by myself. I would play card games sometimes. It was actually like, it was genuinely quite good fun. So let's get started, but first of all, obviously I do need to wipe this off. Okay, I'm now back in my room and I'm going to do some planning. Specifically, I'm going to be planning my, future career. So on my timetable, which I found from when I was 14, I had research into my GCSE syllabuses as something which I wanted to do. Today, instead of that, I'm going to be focusing on kind of post-university stuff. So the next thing I'm going to do is try and learn a new gymnastics move. So I've put my mat out here. Okay, so the next thing is something that I actually found on this schedule. It's to write a poem in Spanish. This is something I really liked doing. And when I was 14, Spanish was my favourite subject at school. I enjoyed writing in Spanish. I'd write little stories or poems in Spanish just to keep up with the language. So I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay, here's my attempt. Very messy. Keep in mind, I haven't studied Spanish for 2 years technically now, but last year I did have weekly 30-minute Spanish lessons though to keep up my speaking conversation conversational Spanish. Yeah, but I know that I've lost so much of the language this year, which I'm really annoyed with. I bet that this doesn't even make any sense. I wanted to pay attention to the sounds and the rhythm. That's what I've tried to focus on. The actual kind of content is questionable. I didn't even know what I was writing. I always pay more attention to the sounds when I write poetry, and my Spanish accent isn't that good, so. Iríamos el lago si los pájaros no sonrían, si los árboles estén desnudos, sin sus escudos. Estemos feliz cuando el agua es hielo, cuando cae la nieve y la noche es negro como terciopelo. Estoy esperando y orando y leyendo su cara porque tengo miedo de que salirte al cielo. I'll just quickly translate it for you two. Would you go to the lake if the birds did not smile, if the trees were bare without the leaves? That's what it was in English. Will you be happy when the water is iced, when the snow falls and the night is black like velvet? I am waiting and crying and reading your face because I'm scared that you are going to rise to the skies. Okay, so I can tick that off the list. Let's just put this back on my shelf though. How gorgeous is this notebook, by the way? I got this a couple years ago from, when I was 14 actually, from Urban Outfitters. So I'm going to recite you something from, well not recite, I'm going to read you something from Francis Leviston's Disinformation, and this one is actually signed, which is really cool. So I went to this writing retreat called Arvon when I was in year 10. Francis Leviston was our guest who came in on the Wednesday to read to us. The Golden Age. In the Golden Age we communed with the gods. A god could be hidden, barely contained inside the costumes of normal men. Nothing was certain. How could you refuse a beggar's request or a gambler's wager? The bold advance of the boss's only daughter, without fear of causing offence to a god? You would say yes. In the Golden Age, whatever was offered, you would say yes. So one thing I had on this schedule actually is listen to music, in brackets, classical and jazz. So I'm going to put on some jazz because I don't listen to jazz. I listen to classical all the time. But I used to be a really big fan of jazz when I was 14. So to finish the day, I've downloaded Tapped Out because this is a game I was really into when I was 14. It was this and Heyday, and well, I'm going to get this sorted, and yes, I'm going to play Tapped Out for a little bit.